Less if I have my way. We'll show them.
I suppose we owe you our thanks. You spared us when you could have just as easily sent us to the mud.
You are welcome to what little we have managed to salvage.
We'll keep them from the bridge.
May the blessing of the Phoenix go with you. Ready, go? Run like the wind. Look at me sideways. The bastards are lucky on you.
What is it now?
We bear a message for the Vicereine. From the Guardians of the Flame.
Ha! You presume to tell us that a pair of filthy vagabonds, a woman and a dog, could guard aught against the might of the Black Shields? Then come! Die along with your flame! For Azaria!
For us!
Your petty revolution ends here.
Bloody hell! Reinforcements from the far bank!
Another one to fight that battle for them.
Almost kill!
This one.
More dragons.
Worms. The Imperials aren't taking any chances. I can't stand
A noble stand, albeit a misguided one. In taking it, you have but proven our point. That this land is in dire need of cleansing.
This one. And another! Help me,
one left to keep them occupied. We need to finish this.
We finish him.
I don't see any more.
Nor do I. The plan worked.
It did. It bloody worked. We sent every last one of the rotten bastards straight to the mud! My, Lord, perhaps this will be enough to stop the Cullings. For the time being, at least.
Perhaps. Though I doubt my mother will take this loss well. She'll move swiftly to see her minions' ranks replenished.
And then it will all begin again. I often wonder if the nation we once knew is gone for good. Her fields rot. Her people starve. We battled to preserve the flame that was, but for every foe we fell, another springs up in its place. Yet be that as it may, it is still our home, and we must fight for it, as we always have, and always will. For as long as the Firebird's flame burns in our hearts, the Duchy cannot die, and her loyal subjects may dream of a day when the Rosarian standard flies over Rosalith once more.
So wait,
Think we should fall back to Port Isolde before the garrison sends reinforcements? A sound strategy, my lord.
And how long has my uncle been funding you and your comrades' endeavors?
Since the beginning. Lord Byron was the first person I turned to after forming the Guardians. And had I known of this tunnel back then, I wouldn't almost have been hanged by the city guard for trying to sneak over the wall.
I suppose a formal request for an audience would have appeared suspicious.
And appearances must be maintained. Were the Vice-Regency to catch wind of Lord Byron's involvement in our movement, they'd seize his estate and send him to the gallows, where he would be of no use to anyone. And so, though it sickens him to the soul, he plays the part of the loyal lord, knowing that one wrong move might prove his downfall. It is why he remains ever vigilant. Don't be surprised if he refuses you an audience, especially since you're famously dead.
Then I will have to think of a way to prove that I am neither wraith nor wrongdoer.
I might have something which could help with the latter. It's the mark of the Guardians. Display it, and those who love Rosaria will know where your loyalties lie.
I shall wear it with pride.
Be sure that you do. I don't want my men attacking you. If only Sir Tyler could have been here to see you. Or the Lord Commander.
Thank you, Sir Wade. If there is ever anything you need.
I know. Go on now, my lord.
How accommodating. Do you really think they believe we are who we say we are?
Not a chance. Right, I guess. My uncle believes we're imposters here to rob him. And means to string us up himself.
Imagine my surprise when I was told my nephew had come to visit. Clive Rosfield died long ago. And for uttering his name here, you shall pay with your tongue! You would mock me as well?
It is I, Sir Crandall of Camelot, loyal servant to Her Serene Holiness, Saint Sybil the Unshod. Meadow, thou vile sorcerer, for thy crimes against church and crown, I shall have thy head.
Curse thee, infectious flax wench. Even in death, must thou plague me still? Very well. I shall open the gates of hell, that thou might see thy charge once more.
Bravo, Uncle. You're still the finest Meadow in the twins.
Oh, Clive, my dear boy, it's really you. You always were fond of that scene from The Saint in the Sanctuary. Never did let me play Sir Crandall.
I have a favor to ask, Uncle Byron.
Rutherford, inform the kitchens. There'll be guests. We dine immediately.
But, Uncle...
You can't very well regale me with the tale of your miraculous preservation on an empty stomach. Go on, sit. See that you use the good plates, Rutherford.
I fucking love the uncle already.
So
Good
you arrived
place,
late to
Rutherford.
one of her cullings, did you? Since becoming Vicereine, Annabella has been a constant thorn in Rosaria's side, but these atrocities are a new low. Something has changed. Quite what, I don't know, but the woman we knew is gone, and a monster sits in her place.
A monster.
For better or worse, I've been charged with governing this town, and thus must maintain the illusion of obedience. That's all I can do to aid Wade and his merry band of revolutionaries.
So he's told us. You have risked much for Rosaria. Our nation will be forever in your debt.
It has been 20 years, Clive. The nation your father and your forefathers fought to defend is no more. Perhaps it would be otherwise had I the courage of my brother. All right, if it's a ship you require, a ship you shall have. I've a galley in port, but recently relieved of her cargo. She can be outfitted for the voyage in a matter of weeks.
So you believe us then? About everything.
Believe you? Ha! Only a fool would believe even half of the things you claim. But until tonight, only a fool would have believed my nephew still lived. And besides, I have it on good authority that Clive is telling the truth.
Whose authority?
On your own, of course. You've always been a terrible liar.
Is that true?
It's not untrue.
Let's say no more about it, eh? It wouldn't do to linger on my nephew's greatest failing. The one thing I cannot believe, though, is all this about you being Sid. You were always such a good boy, but now you're quite the outlaw. Which, if I'm not mistaken, would make me an outlaw's uncle. Right then, who shall we pillage first? Rutherford, fetch me my cutlass. This will be fun.
Over there. Go on.
She's a fine ship, isn't she?
Once outfitted, she'll bear us across the boiling sea to Drustinus in the space of 3 days.
Something on your mind?
Monsters. When I served the Iron Kingdom, I did so because I saw no other choice. Because once they learned that the lash would not move me, they turned it on those who could. And so I became their puppet. I let them pull my strings, telling myself it was not my hand that swung the sword, but another's. I removed myself from the truth so I wouldn't feel the pain it caused. And before I knew it, I no longer felt anything. Anything at all. I had become a monster.
Jill.
I don't want to be a monster, Clive. Do you understand? I want to choose a different path, a better path. To live on my own terms. But before I can do that, I need to come to terms with my past.
And when you do, I'll be standing there with you, just as you stood with me.
Thank you, Clive. I must atone for my sins. Only then, when it's done, will the monster cease to be.
Just promise me that you won't die with it. Now, let's get some sleep. The journey back to Benamir is long, and there is much to tell the others. Founder knows what awaits us in the Iron Kingdom, but Vivian could probably make an educated guess.
I didn't take you for a scholar, Ivan.
Oh, this? Well, it's Valisthea, a culinary. I borrowed it from old Toad. Oh, where's your sense of adventure, Sid? From
If it's my blessing.
Well, I'm no hunter, Sid. The first tunnel worm I came across would be the... But you're made of sterner stuff. Would you help me resurrect what...
Something...
Fantastic!
So...
Chance's stew. It was once a favourite. The only problem is that while a beast...
Does the book say?
Well, only that the sweet is violent.
Roses. One of the butch...
Nothing but unwanted violets will do if I'm to resurrect this stew. As to what they might be.
Thank you for sticking with us.
Those of us who are still here have to look after each other.
You're looking for scorpions to choke, and even if...
Do the scorpion...
I dare say they do.
Thank you.
It'll take ages to tidy all...
Ready, go?
We're not alone.
Scorpions. At least I know what I'm up against.
This one. Go for it. This one. Go.
I better get this back to Yvonne before...
Did you... Marvelous! Let's see.
You wouldn't be wrong.
I present Chance's stew. Grab a spoon, Sid.
I'm mad.
Well, it'll be too late. What? Chief, what an assault on the senses. It's like choking on swamp water. And yet, up through the pungency, there rise complex, meaty notes. It takes a moment to recover from such an onslaught of flavors, but never have I tasted anything. I must share this gift. A single mouthful.
I'm...
Against
Deadlands wouldn't be half as bad with all the bloody dust.
Typical nobles.
Back again?
It is not your company.
What will it be today?
The Iron Kingdom.
You'll soon be setting sail for Drake's, the mother crystal that rises from the... There was a time when a true-blooded Rosarian had only to brave the waves to visit it. But then the Ironblood made their move. As you know, the Iron Kingdom rules over the islands to the west of Storm. Or rather, its church does. But this is not the pragmatic approach to state religion employed by the Holy Empire to manipulate the masses. No, the Iron Kingdom is the literal embodiment of the crystalline orthodoxy. And so, if one is to understand it, one must start there. As the name implies, the orthodoxy holds the Mother Crystals sacred, and they do not take kindly to heathens plundering the objects of their worship for the means to fill washtubs and light lamps with frivolous feats of magic. Indeed, the faithful consider ether a sinful thing, a poison no less. And to them, a dominant is an instrument of evil, albeit one they have proven only too happy to turn against their enemies. Some 80 years ago in Northern Storm, Drake's eye collapsed. Soon after, in pursuit of ether and with the Blight at their backs, the Northern Territories descended upon the Grand Duchy of Rosaria. And when the Shields of the Flame marched north to meet them, the Iron Kingdom spied an opportunity. A few short days later, the Crusaders landed on the island of Mount Drastanus, home of Drake's breath, and plucked it from the Duchy's grasp. Rosaria tried to reclaim it, of course, but to no avail. I doubt more than a handful of Duchy men have set foot on its shores in your lifetime. Nor are they like to again, under the Empire's stewardship, meaning the Iron Blood will keep their island, and with it, the foothold they need to march on mainland soil when next they spy an opportunity. The Mother Crystal is both the object of the Iron Blood's worship and their gateway, making Drastanus the holy from which the Orthodox Crusade shall one day sail forth to claim the...
My father and my grandfather both traded blows with the Iron Blood for control of Drake's breath. Had things unfolded differently at Phoenix Gate, we would have sent her...
But instead, they sent their fleet against Rosaria, sacked the capital, killed the men. I'd say you'd be forgiven for wanting a little revenge, Clive.
My own, then. Not much else to do here. Let's see if Jill's ready.
How did we never hear about these
There are
Guardians of the
new
Flame?
billets being Clive!
Is something wrong?
It's Blackthorn. And if I'm honest, he ain't... Normally, it only takes... Something's getting him. It's like he's lost... I'm thinking him...
But if...
All right, now, wait.
I could have sworn we had
That monster's taken quite a liking to Lady Karen.
First, what's it got to do with me? August was worried that something had been weighing on you. I thought you might want to talk.
I told you not to stick your nose in my business.
Clive just wants to help, innit? What's so bad about that? Talk to him. You never know, you might feel better for getting it all out in the open. Please, mate. I'm worried about you.
Phil, shut you up. It's nothing really. Stupid. Not the sort of thing you bother people about.
Why don't you tell us all the same?
Karen and I have an arrangement. I keep an eye on Goots, and she shows me what the competition's up to. Interesting arms and armor, things like that. Anyway, the other day, she shows me a cuirass she's come by. Masterpiece of level work. Light, supple, and tougher than it had any right to be. Made my stuff look like heavy, clumsy shit. I should have brought the bastard thing there and then just to study it, but I was too proud. And now every time I reach for my hammer, I'm reminded that I'm not the craftsman. There. You got what you came for.
All right. We're going. I always thought of old Blackthorn as a bit of a force of nature. Like a storm cloud full of ale. Didn't think anything could rattle him. Least of all a stupid piece of leather.
Blackthorn's always taken pride in his craft. Something tells me this is only going to get... If he has doubts, it will affect his...
I couldn't agree more.
He said he should have bought that cuirass. Assuming you're happy to...
Too bloody right.
Glad to hear it. Karen, Blackthorn mentioned that you'd...
And he ain't been himself since...
Sorry, sold it up. Didn't think Blackthorn cared for it the way... But it was nicely put together, that's for certain. Makes all his stuff to order.
You don't know where we might find him.
Like I said, he's a bit of an odd one. I don't trust hunters neither, which means he spends as much time out tracking big...
I see.
He did tell me some... Apparently, his next commission's for a set of...
Here, there's a griffin on the hunt board. Now, where the bleeding hell was it sighted? Somewhere in...
Thank you, Karen.
At least...
So,
I'll leave the hunting to you. While you get on with that, I'll...
Good idea.
I could have sworn we had a few more. Typical nobles.
What's the... It's just... Right. The people of Alastia, the last thing... Then perhaps I... I don't think so.
We'll be over soon.
You ready?
I think so.
Jill. When you told me you had to come to terms with your past, you weren't talking about destroying Drake's breath, were you?
No. I spoke of Imran, the leader of the Crystalline Orthodox. The man who made me do all those unspeakable things. I'm going to kill him. It's what I need to do to put the past behind me. What I need to move forward. And I know that I can do it. If you're there beside me.
Always.
And I'll be beside you, too. We'll bring down the Mother Crystal together. All while Sid looks on.
We'll make him proud. Useful trick. Freezing and thawing the spray to make mist. How did you learn to use your powers like this?
The Masters made me do it. When the Crusaders took to the seas, to keep the fleet's movements from prying eyes. I'm fine.
No, you're not.
This may be the only chance I get to go back. My only chance to put things right. I have to do this. Whatever the cost.
All right.
There she is. The Iron Kingdom's Mother Crystal.
Drake's breath. Strong currents, sharp rocks, and ether floods. Let's not forget them. This island is a natural fortress.
But safety breeds complacency. Allowing a single rowing boat to slip in unseen. The sanctuary is inside the mountain. If we follow the old trail, we should be able to enter by the back gate.
All right. Let's go. I always imagined when I came here it would be to reclaim it.
It used to belong to Rosaria, didn't it?
Once, though it's been in the Ironblood's clutches for far too long.
As was I. For 13 years, this rock was my home. I know its secrets only too well. This path was abandoned after an ether flood. They don't guard it anymore.
The perfect little shortcut. Akashic.
The ether flood must have spread. It was never as bad as this before. And the only way past them is through them.
Was that an earthquake?
They happen all the time. That wasn't even a bad one. It's nothing to worry about.
Get him! This one. Get him.
Arboretum is just up ahead. We'll enter the caves from there. Look at this place. What a mess.
Wait.
Turned.
Nothing a shelter for Zarya can't handle. Just like old times.
Be sure to keep clear of his way.
Believe me, I need to. That's foul.
Don't breathe it in.
Get him!
Press on.
Yes. It's like a furnace in here.
We're inside the volcano. You get used to the heat, though I don't remember it being quite this hot.
Was that one cause for concern?
It was. And they're getting bigger. Something's wrong. Let's not do that again.